I just got sick of the way terrestrial, that's FM, terrestrial radio was moving. Music had changed, the way they operated changed, everything became streamlined. So instead of complaining about it, I was like, you know what, I'm going to make my own radio station.
You are now listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. The show is designed to help you grow your mobile app audience and get advice from experts in your industry. Now, here's your host, Sean Garvey.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome to another edition of BV Mobile Apps Podcast. You already know who it is. If you don't know, now you know. The architect himself, Sean Garvey. Thank you so much for joining with us today on another great edition of BV Mobile Apps Podcast. That on the phone lines with me, he is a DJ all the way from Philly. Shout out to all my people out there in Philly. And he's been doing the DJing thing for over 20 years. He's also on iHeartMedia, and he's going all around the world doing his thing as a professional DJ. And now he is one of the most loyal members and clients to the BV mobile app brand. On the phone lines with me today is the one and only DJ B, better known as Beezus. What's up, DJ B? How's it going?
What's going on, everybody?
Salute, man. How's everything? How's life treating you?
Life is grand. Life is a blessing. I'm still, I'm still doing what I love to do and be able to feed my family. So that's a blessing right there. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. It's always a blessing, man. And so we're going to cover a lot of layers behind you as a DJ. And this is my first time actually getting to know you on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. We have plenty of DJs on the show, like your DJ Ravers and your DJ Danny T. Shout out to them. But it's just so great to talk to another DJ to have on the phone line so we can get some more background information about you. And I shared a little bit of you a few moments ago. So tell the listeners a little bit more about your background history.
Originally from Philly, and I've been in VA for close to 24 years, I think. And I started DJing basically from, like, I always listened to the radio, always taped off the radio. In high school, one of my hustles was making, like, tapes, because I had all the music, and people wanted certain songs on certain tapes. I wasn't a DJ yet, wasn't thinking about DJing, but that's what I did, just to make some extra money in high school. My aunt married this dude, started dating this dude, whose first cousin was on the radio in Philly. He lived around the corner from me. So he took me over there, and I was hooked. Like, I kept making him make tapes for me. And then one day, he was like, well, I can't make the tape for you today, but here's the records that you want. This is how you hit record. And then I was hooked from there. And that's how I started DJing. So I moved to VA, started DJing heavy. And, him teaching me always taught me, like, it don't matter if it's 3 people in front of you, 30 people, 3,000. Always go hard. Always go hard. So in VA, Newport News, I was at this club. It was 30 people there, but 3 of the people there worked at the radio station. This was Thursday night.
Right.
Friday night, I was on the radio. And I was on the radio, learned how radio worked. I went to D.C. and Baltimore in 2000, came back to VA in, I think, 02 or 03. And I'm still at iHeart. But around, I just got sick of the way terrestrial, and that's FM, terrestrial radio, was moving. Music had changed, the way they operated changed, everything became streamlined. So instead of complaining about it, I was like, you know what, I'm going to make my own radio station. And that's what I did some research, and I had a couple of friends that gave me some advice, and that's what made me create Fresh Radio. So I launched Fresh Radio on October 10th, 2010. So basically what Fresh Radio is basically classic and progressive hip-hop, soul, funk, reggae, house, and all that. And what I think is missing from radio, what's not getting played on radio, what not being fed to the mainstream. So Fresh Radio is on this 9th year. And how I got down with the BV mobile apps was I was at a DJ convention in Charlotte, and it was it might have been, was it Fleet DJ? Yeah, I think it was the Fleet DJ conference in Charlotte. And,
Right.
And I had an ad, but it wasn't. It was just basic. I couldn't interact with the listeners too much from it. And I'm sorry, I'm sitting in front of my store called Freshtopia, by the way, at the plug.
Okay.
You hear sirens and hopefully you won't hear no gunshots. But anyway,
Hopefully we won't hear that on the podcast today.
But anyway, so I saw, I was like, oh man, the app is very inexpensive. It's very user friendly. So I switched over, and I've been hooked ever since.
Great resume, great breakdown on your background history in radio. And speaking of radio, Fresh Radio, your website is called itsfreshradio.com. Who are the other people that you have on itsfreshradio.com, also known as Fresh Radio?
Well, I'm the program director. I'm the webmaster. I'm the marketing, along with my wife. But I have guest DJs from around the world that does weekly shows dedicated to just Fresh Radio. Like down in Atlanta, I got my homie DJ JC. He does a show called Eargasms every Friday at 3 p.m. on the East. I got my man DJ Irie out in Holland. He does a show every Saturday, 11 a.m. I got my man Excalibur in Queens, who does a reggae show on Sunday, and he does a regular show on Wednesday. So I've got a lot of good friends, but mainly dope DJs that do regular shows. And then, we also have regular rotation, which I program. And we also do, and I have this thing at noon called Legends at Noon, where I stated earlier, I grew up listening to the radio in Philly. And I grew up, even those Red Alert tapes and Mr. Magic that my cousin used to bring down to Philly, like, that's the essence of my life. That's how I fell in love with the culture. And I got a lot of tapes. I recorded a lot, and then I find some online. So every day at noon on a weekday, I do this thing called Legends at Noon, where I run an old radio show, whether it be Red Alert,
right,
Mr. Magic, Marley Marl, or live performance, or like today, recording this podcast is Dilla Day. So we're rocking all Dilla today.
Yeah.
Go on, no, right.
No, I was just gonna say R.I.P. because Dilla is, to me, not just only a great DJ, but he is one of the most prolific and best producers we ever had, not just only in hip hop music, but in black music in general.
Yeah, it was about Dilla. He didn't have the technology that's out today. He was doing things that other people wasn't doing with the technology out, like the chops and all that. People wasn't really chopping it like that because it was only a limited amount of time you could do sampling. I'm not a producer. I don't know too much about producing, but I do know like you only had a limited amount of time to sample some stuff, and what he was doing was rearranging things, and most people wasn't doing it. And then the things he used too was very extremely soulful, and the digging and the stuff that he used was just incredible. So rest in peace to Dilla. Word up.
Yeah. Once again, for those who are just tuning in to the BV Mobile Apps podcast, especially for the first time, we have DJ B on the telephone lines. He just gave us a little bit of background history on his DJing career. And so now we have a lot of aspiring DJs, young DJs that are on the come up. They listening to the podcast, and they definitely want to be in the position that you are in right now, or they may need to get a little bit more craft in, so that way they can be professional. They can be, where you standing at right now. What tips and advice can you give to our aspiring and up and coming DJs that are listening to the BV Mobile Apps podcast?
Well, there's first define what kind of DJ you want to be. You want to be a party rocker. You can be a turntablist. You want to be a radio DJ. First, you could be all three, but first define what you want to do. And if it's all three, that's cool. Perfect your craft. And there's no such thing as perfect. Think about, I had a basketball coach, because I used to hoop, and my basketball coach always said practice makes permanent, which means basically you repeat things over and over again. Steph Curry misses shots, but he constantly practices. He's going to miss shots. So, but practice makes permanent. That means if you keep practicing, it becomes more or less, it becomes natural. So whether you're a turntablist, practice your cuts, practice your beat jumping, whatever. Whether you're a party rocker, just practice those transitions to keep the party moving. If you're a radio DJ, just practice all the above of what I just said. And, do research. No, don't just put music on. Learn that music. Learn them songs. Learn how to get in and out with seamless mixing. Learn when to get in and out of these records as well and putting the records together. So just basically, if y'all would take anything out from what I just said, one word, it would be practice.
Right. And not just only a DJ, but a radio host. I'm a radio host. You're a radio host. I came in this game when I was 19. I'm 35 right now. I usually don't reveal my real age to our listeners, but I'm 35. And
that's 15 years in the game. That makes you a vet right there.
There you go, man. There you go. And I've had a lot of people in my journey school me to the game and have taught me many things about how to survive in radio. But because you have an amazing and extensive background in radio yourself, being that you went from being on iHeartMedia, iHeartRadio, to having your own online radio station, which once again we want to remind people that it's Fresh Radio. What advice can you give to aspiring radio disc jockeys and radio hosts that are on the come up?
Well, I'm still on iHeartRadio, which is crazy. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm on 92.1 The Beat from 10 to 2, and I'm on 103 Jams, the Heritage Urban Station, from 2 to 6 of the afternoon drive. And this is my 22nd year in terrestrial radio. And my advice is basically learn everything. Rest in peace to KJ Holiday, who was a legend in this area, who taught me like learn as much as you can. That's one thing. So I know how to program. I know how to run promotions. I know how to not run promotions, but I know what it takes to run promotions, even to selling, even to imaging, which I've applied what I've learned to create my own station. That's why I can be all the titles for my station. I can run the station myself. But learn everything. Mm-hmm. Learn everything. Also, which I'm horrible at, but preparation. Show prep. I do no show prep. I do not encourage doing what I do. But show prep is important because it makes life much easier. I'm just, the way I'm built for things to go wrong and being able to adjust when it goes wrong. So that's kind of why, I don't do as much show prep as I need to be. But at least I recognize that I need to be doing it. But, I would tell everybody, just be prepared. You know what I mean? Things going to come sideways. Also know how to recover from when things go sideways. Life is not perfect. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if practice makes permanent, that means that you're ready for when things go wrong. You know how to adjust to when, like even just today on the air, I'm on the air, like I'm live on the air and the mic falls.
Ouch.
You know what I mean? Like the mic falls off the mic stand.
I hate when that happens.
You know what I mean? It happens everywhere, but when it happens, you're in the studio by yourself, but you're talking to thousands of people. They don't care that the mic that the mic fell. Just tell me what you was about to tell me. What you got, giveaways? Boom, boom, boom. Or I don't care that the mic fell. So you have to recover. You have to keep it moving. I had to grab it and keep it moving like it didn't fall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just being on, and when you're like on air, appointment setting. When you're watching, like, I'm gonna use ESPN for an example, or maybe a show like one of the ESPN shows where on the left side or the right side of the screen, it shows you what topic they're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. But it also shows you, and that topic is highlighted. But then they show you what else they're going to talk about in the show on the right, like the other subjects. So it's like, I don't know, Lakers, boom, Golden State, the Sixers, trade deadline, boom, 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 All-Star. So that's letting you know, because you can visually see it, that's letting you know that, we're going to talk about the Sixers soon. Let me keep watching. With radio, you don't see that. You're listening. So if you say, I have a pair of tickets to check out Jeezy coming up in 10 minutes, that means those listeners, at least you got those listeners for another 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, and just being, just giving people reason to stay tuned to you.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what radio is definitely all about. It's fast-paced. people want to stay entertained and stay informed and get those prizes and tickets so that they can see these amazing artists perform on stage and do their thing. I want to switch gears for just a few moments. The show, of course, is called BV Mobile Apps Podcast. We've been airing the show for the past couple of weeks now. And so we've had amazing guests come on our show so far. And since we are talking to a current client of BV Mobile Apps, I'm going to go ahead and just give you the floor and talk to our listeners about your experience with BV Mobile Apps. How has BV Mobile Apps been treating you thus far?
First of all, the customer service is immaculate. It's immaculate. If I have an issue or if I have a question, I get an immediate answer and I get the problem immediately fixed, unless there's something that can't be fixed right away. They let me know it can't be fixed right away, and as soon as it's fixed, boom, they let me know. But without my mobile app, I don't know where Fresh Radio would be, because it started off just the internet. You know what I mean? It started off just a website. It was it'sfreshradio.com. Once I got my mobile app, it changed everything. Because you think about it, I bet you your phone is in your hand right now. Man. Whoever's listening, I bet your phone is in your hand.
I got two phones in my hand right now.
You know what I mean? So you got two phones in your hand. So that's how important it is. That's how important the mobile app is, because you want your listeners to be able to take you wherever you go, whether if it's an internet station or if it's just a radio show. So that's how important that mobile app is. What's dope about BV mobile apps is catered, because I did research on apps. These BV mobile apps are dedicated to DJs and radio stations. There's not a lot of apps that can cater to us because they don't know what we need. And what I needed was obviously being able to stream from the mobile phone. But what I really needed was it's nothing like them notifications, man. I can send notifications, let cats know, boom, I'm going live at 8 a.m. in the morning. Or boom, today's Dilla Day. We're rocking all Dilla today. Or boom, we got an event coming up Thursday or Friday. Let me know. Well, just letting you know. Oh, or boom, it's breaking news. Breaking news. That's important to engage with your listeners and being able to provide that. God forbid somebody passes away. But you can notify your listeners that, boom, so and so passed away. We're doing a dedication right now, and that's engaging with your listeners. If you engage with your listeners, they'll keep coming back to you, because now you're their source of information when it comes to breaking news or to music or anything.
What would life be like for a DJ B without the BV mobile app?
Constantly tell people to go to the website and listen. And if they're in their car, you can go to the website from the phone, but if you're in your car, you're not thinking about a website. You're mainly thinking about a mobile app. So I know I would have not the thousands of listeners that we have. I already know that.
Yeah.
I definitely know that. So Fresh Radio wouldn't be, as popular as it is with its listeners if I didn't have the mobile app. And one, I could tell you, if my stream doesn't go down often, but it has gone down before, and that's because of internet outage from my studio, something crazy, right? Oh, the listeners they let me know ASAP. Hey, what's going on with the station? What's going on with the station? You know what I'm saying? So, and what's dope about the app, it runs in the background, so they can still use their phone and still listen, not having to actually be in the app. There's a lot of apps that's out there that you have to have the app open, which means you can't use your phone for nothing else. Nobody wants that.
It's so interesting because I have my computer in front of me and two phones. And to be honest with you, I rather go and listen to Fresh Radio on my mobile phone, on my apps versus my PC. I can still listen to Fresh Radio. I can still listen to DJ B on my computer, on my laptop, but it's nothing like having that phone in your hand and listening to some dope hip hop music, listening to what DJ B has to say. It has changed your life. It has changed your DJing career, and it also keeps people in the times that we're living in right now, which everything is so advanced when it comes to technology. So that's more the reasons why this app from DJB is something that a person who's listening to us right now has to have in their life.
Right, right.
Absolutely,
right,
absolutely,
right.
man.
So I'm very thankful for you guys. Like like I said, I ran into at that convention. I wasn't even supposed to be at that convention. That was last minute, and if I didn't, that was just dope. It was a blessing running into these mobile apps. Because it just took Flush Radio to another platform.
Yeah, absolutely, man. DJ B on the telephone lines right here on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast with yours truly, the architect, Sean Garvey. Now, before we let you go, DJ B, we do this thing at the end of our show or towards the end of our show called Fun Facts. And we like to discover some fun stuff about you that many of your followers may not know about you behind the scenes. So I just want to take a moment and to try to dig some information out of you so we can have our recurrent listeners and our new listeners know more about DJ B. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, no doubt. This is like the Nardwar section of the podcast.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. So I understand that you have a love for cheesesteaks. Philly is known for its cheesesteaks. It's known for its cheesesteak sandwiches. But if you had to trade if you had to trade cheesesteaks for something else, what would it be?
Well, I don't eat red meat, so I eat chicken cheesesteaks. But I would trade pizza. Definitely pizza.
Pizza. Now, what kind of pizza? Be a little bit more specific. What kind of pizza are we talking about?
Cheese pizza, but with a city slice. It's got to be like a big slice so I can fold it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's nothing like that northern pizza, that city slice. I know what you're talking about. Yes. Okay. In a MC battle, all right? Because I could tell that you are a hip-hop connoisseur and you've been paying attention to all the hip-hop battles that's been going on and stuff. But if you had to put, let me see, I'm just going to pick out any artist.
Okay.
If I put J. Cole on the stage and put Drake on the same stage with him and do a hip-hop freestyle battle, who you think would win? Who would you choose that you think would win a hip-hop freestyle battle?
Freestyle, I haven't heard Drake freestyle before. So I'm gonna go with J. Cole, but it's got to be different. Like if we talking crowd participation or we talking bars, because if you put them two in front of a crowd, Drake is gonna win because of popularity.
Right.
If we talking bars, I think J. Cole will win because I've never seen Drake come off the top before.
Okay.
But if it goes to writing, and well, look, allegedly we don't know if Drake writes everything. Well, we know he don't write everything. So let me stop there and say J. Cole.
Okay. I gotta pick another MC. I think this question is so good. I gotta pick another rapper.
Sure.
Let's
because
take
there's a lot of factors when you put MCs together because you got different audience that like different things.
That's true.
You got audience that you got audiences that pay attention. Like I guess fans of battle rap paying attention to bars, but chicks don't like bars. They paying attention to how you make them move and feel. So, go ahead.
Well, let's do this, DJ B. Let's do this since we only have a few minutes right here on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. Let's trade Drake out with who he got bodied by. He got bodied by Pusha T. So let's put Pusha T on there. It's Pusha T versus J. Cole. Which one you think we get it?
Pusha T.
Pusha T over Drake. Oh, not Drake, but over J. Cole.
Yep. His metaphors, his delivery, the clarity of the way he delivers his cadence. I'm rocking with Pusha T.
I'm gonna have to go with my man. We're not talking subject matter. I'm just talking like just delivery. I'm talking just like his cadence.
And how you put words together, I'm rocking with Pusha T, but I see you rocking with J. Cole.
Yes, I got to go with J. Cole on this one. I got to go with J. Cole on this one.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty about hip hop. Everybody can value everybody's opinion, and you can fight for your opinion.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I don't like a lot about the way things are now. Because it's like, if you don't like something, you hate it. I was like, no, I don't like it. Why can't I not like something? Why can't I not agree with you? Agree to disagree. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what makes the world go around. Difference of opinions. That's what's up, man.
Yep.
So, yo, hey, we're running a little bit out of time, DJ B, but my man, I appreciate you for calling into the BV Mobile Apps podcast. I had such a great time talking to you. And before we officially let you go, go ahead and let the people know where they can follow you at and how they can get in contact with you.
All right, well, you can follow me personally at DJB online, and that's DJB, 2 E's, online, Grand Twitter, and all that. You can follow Fresh Radio at Real Fresh Radio, and that's the Gram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that. And make sure you got the Fresh Radio app for all platforms. I don't even have a BlackBerry, but we got a BlackBerry app. And also follow my store, which is Freshtopia VA, which is the place where we dwell. I do merch. That's where my merch is at, and that's where the Fresh Radio studio is at. So if you're in Norfolk also, you can stop by anytime, 532 West 35th Street between Newport and Colonial and Park Place in Norfolk, VA. 7 Cities, what up?
All right, that's what it is, man. My man DJ B on the phone lines. You can also catch him on iHeartMedia's 103 Jams in Norfolk, Virginia, as well as on iHeartMedia 92.1, The Beat in VA as well. You are also on 106.5 The Beat in Richmond, Virginia. You represent Virginia real hard. I see you right there. And you got Fresh Radio 24/7 online. It's freshradio.com.
Yep.
All right. That's what it is, man. DJ B, thank you so much. We would love to have you come back on the BV. Or matter of fact, we're going to have you on a different platform so we can talk more about this whole hip-hop battle thing, all right?
Say no more. Let's make it work.
Fresh Radio. Go ahead and download that Fresh Radio app right now to your mobile device, all right? You need that in your life. Sean Garvey getting ready to sign off from the BV Mobile Apps podcast. Make sure you follow me at Sean Garvey ATL on Twitter, on Instagram, and Sean Garvey on Facebook. Tune in again to another great edition of BV Mobile Apps. Shout out to Gerald Oliveri and Marshall Lyons for helping me put this interview together. And we are on multiple platforms. Check us out on Spotify. We are on Spotify, YouTube, and you can also hear the BV Mobile Apps podcast on BeatBreakRadioFM.com and download that BeatBreak 87 FM app to your mobile device. So not only that you can hear Fresh Radio, but you can also hear BeatBreak 87 FM on your mobile device as well. Until then, me and DJ B, we are out of here. Take care. And don't forget, folks, if you have any questions, please email us podcast@bvmobileapps.com. podcast@bvmobileapps.com for all your questions, feedback. Let us know what you think about the podcast. podcast@bvmobileapps.com. I know I delivered a lot of information to you, ladies and gentlemen, but that's why they created pencils and paper so you can take this information down. All right? Until then, we'll talk to you later. Peace.
It's a new year. It's a new day. We're starting it over, starting the day.
Thank you for listening to the BV Mobile Apps podcast with your host, Sean Garvey. For more information about BV Mobile Apps, visit the website, bvmobileapps.com. Don't forget to follow BV Mobile Apps on social media at BV Mobile Apps. Tune in again next time on the BV Mobile Apps podcast.